Okay, I'd like to call the City of Elkhorn Common Council Tuesday, April 19th, 5:30 meeting to order. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Next, we have the swearing in of Mayor Bruce Lechner and Alderman Ron Dunwitty, Scott McClory, and Carol Young. John's gonna do. You wanna go up there? Sure. I guess he's gonna do the one, mine first, and then Alderman next.
Sure, I'll make a mistake. Raise your right hand. Say, I, Bruce Lechner,
I, Bruce Lechner,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. And if I have the aldermen. Scott and Carol want to stand up and raise their right hands. I'm going to say state your name, but say your real name. Don't say state your name.
He knows us too well.
Yeah, right. I state your name,
I,
Ron Dunwoody.
yeah.
having been elected to the office of alderman,
Office of Alderman.
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
Partially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Bruce Lechner,
Here.
Tim Sharota,
Here.
Gary Payson Jr.,
Here.
Ron Dunwoody,
Here.
Scott McClory,
Here.
Ken Minell,
Here.
Carol Young.
Here.
Moving on, we need the council reorganization. First, we have the election of the council president. Do we have a nomination for council president?
I nominate Tim Sharota.
We have a nomination for Tim. Do we have a second? Second? Tim, do you accept that nomination?
Yes.
Do we have any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Congratulations, Tim, council president.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to name the official city newspaper, the Elkhorn Independent. I'll need a motion for that.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for the city newspaper, Elkhorn Independent. Next, resolution 22-08 for designating dispository and authorizing withdrawal of city monies. We need to do that so we can sign our checks.
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for resolution 22-08. Next, I have the mayoral appointments. First, we have the city attorney, Ward Phillips. I'd like to have a motion for appointing our city attorney.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second? Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for city attorney.
Can I make a motion that we approve the committees and the boards and commissions, or do we have to do them individually?
No, we can do them, if council would like that, we can do them all together.
I see we have a pretty hefty agenda, so I would move to just go ahead and do those all at once.
Sure. We can do council committees, which we have the 5 listed on the agenda, and then the boards, commission liaisons. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes.
Do we have a second? Any question or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for the council committees and board commissions and liaisons. Next, we have public comment. Anybody here for public comment tonight? No public comment? I'll move on to the consent agenda. We have the council meeting minutes of April 4th, 2022. Everybody had them in their packet?
I move we approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussions, questions, or changes to the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for the council meeting minutes of April 4th. Next, we have bills payable, consideration and recommendation to pay. Our bills are at $2,438,358.17. Do we have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to approve the pay the bills.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on any bills? Roll call, please.
Gary Pearson Jr.,
Yes.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Scott McClory,
Yes.
Tim Sharota,
Yes.
Ken Minell,
Yes.
Carol Young.
Motion passed to pay the bills. Next, report of city officers. Mayor, I'd like to say welcome to Adam Swain for coming, the new city administrator. We want to welcome you aboard. Hope the transition's going good so far. No, just go ahead and talk. Yeah.
Clearly, the transition's not going well with that little technological snafu, but no, I'm very excited to be here, Mayor, so thank you for that welcome.
And Jim, welcome from, still out in Dakotas. He got snowed in, 36 inches of snow the other day and couldn't get out, so he'll be back a little bit later this week, so. City administrator report. Jim, do you have anything?
Well, I didn't say the actual count was 48 inches, but who's counting at this point?
Anything to add?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I guess. Okay. No, I guess I did plan to be there in person. I just want to thank the city council for all they've done for me for the last 8 years. Quite a transformation since I came in there. I think the only one was Scott. And,
There's a
you know,
shot.
so well, Scott's been there for a lot of things, but, we appreciate all that service. But, you know, I just, thankful for the opportunity and met a lot of great people, not only at work, but throughout the community. And it was a great place to be. And, I just want to pass along a thank you to everyone. It's been great. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for everything. Adam, would you like to add anything on our first meeting here?
The only thing I'll just add is, again, just reiterate that I am really excited to be here, and I really appreciate that how welcoming the staff has been already and helpful. It's really knowledgeable staff, and Lacey, and Lacey in particular, has been helping for the last couple weeks to get me mentally and physically prepared for this challenge. So I appreciate that, Lacey, for all your help. So, but again, I'm looking forward to working with the council and working for the citizens of Elkhorn.
Thank you. Moving on, report on liaison committee meetings. Fire advisory, Rod, we have a meeting next Wednesday, correct? Next Thursday? Okay. Anything else you need to add about fire? Nope, okay. Library?
I'm going to defer to Chad tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Director's report is written, but the big exceptions are that we have taken delivery of the first installment of the digitized Elkhorn Independent. This is from 1855 to 1899. By summer, that will be available for research on our website. We're going to go decade by decade, but the end result will be the entire newspaper digitized up to 2005, where it is picked up by the Wisconsin Newspaper Archive. So we're very excited to begin providing that. Also, tomorrow we are having, in conjunction with the school district, the Day on the Farm at the library, so it should be literally an animal house, no pun intended, including Mr. P's grilled cheese sandwich food truck, which is just a recent addition. So please use the Washington Street entrance if you visit us tomorrow. Thank you.
Chad? Next, recreation advisory?
Yep, our next Park and Rec Advisory Board meeting is April 27th, which is a Wednesday at 5:30 here at the City Hall building. And I just want to say a thank you. We had a no school adventure day yesterday where we had 24, 25 kiddos go on an adventure. It was called Community Day. They went to the library, saw a reptile show. They got a tour of the Department of Public Works. They played laser tag with police officers, and they did a tour of the fire department. So thank you to all those community groups for making that possible for the kiddos. Thank you.
Chamber? Chris, please.
Special thank you to Mayor Bruce Lechner. We had a tourism event in Williams Bay where Bruce was on time, Chris was not. He made a tour of Yerkes Observatory. It's a great asset to Walworth County. So thank you for covering for me. And then we had Ann Sayer, the Department of Tourism, speak at our luncheon and talk about things. As you know, this becomes my busy season. And we kick off May 11th with our golf outing and our annual dinner. So again, our annual dinner was normally in March, but things were spiking with COVID, so we chose to delay till, well, let's figure out how we can incorporate this. So golf outing, outside pavilion at Evergreen, it's a better scenario. So you will all be getting an invite. I know you have to do your public stuff, but if you can attend, we'd greatly like to have you. We have some great community awards and business awards that we'll be doing. After that, the following week, we start with our food truck and then our farmers market. Saturdays on the Square starts for 12 weeks straight on Saturday from 9 to 1, downtown Square, and then our plethora of events from there. But our first quarter, if we gauge it by, which in my world is the Star Report and tourism room tax entity, 22 is going to knock it out of the park. We have actually, believe it or not, as you know, people will look at me and say, what? Our weekend hotel rooms from Thursday to Sunday on most event weekends, and people don't understand what an event weekend is for us. That's the fairgrounds. It could be the flea market, a horse event, our downtown stuff, our Oktoberfest, things like that, our spring food truck. We are, unfortunately, almost sold out. And our business traffic that we're seeing, the business traffic that we're seeing that are leaving resorts and coming to a small Holiday Inn or Hampton, I'm okay with saying we're an economic overflow for the Lake Geneva area because it just brings it here. So we're good with that. So thank you for that support and the community support. But again, I always open the door. Any questions, concerns, come down and see us, and we'll hopefully get them answered. Our new community guide will be out. It should hit your homes, all the 53121 zip code. We're hoping May 15th to kick off for food truck and the rest of the event. So it's a direct mail piece, but we also print an additional 25,000 we distribute throughout different marketing avenues. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, I'm gonna go back to the mayor's report for 1 second. Lacey has an update about the election I'd like to have her give to the council.
Sorry for not speaking up before. So I wanted to thank everyone that helped with the election. I wanted to let the council and the mayor know that 1,086 voters were able to cast a ballot for the April 5th, 2022 spring election. 292 of those voters voted absentee. Our new polling location, which is right where you're sitting, was a huge success. We were able to provide accessible voting to all voters who came to vote in person absentee and those who voted at the polls on election day. I want to thank the City of Elkhorn election inspectors who are unbelievably outstanding, working on, before, and after election day. We do have the best election inspectors I've asked around. Also to DPW for all their help with setup and tear down, building Badger Book stands and sneeze shields. To DPW lead Tony, who sat in on multiple election meetings to help coordinate the best layout for options on election day, assisted with the new polling place accessibility survey and post-election update meetings. Thanks to the law firm across the street for allowing us to park in their parking lot so that we had ample parking for voters. Thank you to city administration staff who helped with preparing the absentee ballots for the mail, helping service voters for in-person absentee voting, as well as being willing to share their break room and give up their parking spaces on Election Day. Thank you to the Elkhorn Post Office because they always make sure the ballots are delivered and received timely, and they call me personally to let me know when they're on their way. Thank you to the many voters who shared their compliments on our new polling location, our city administration offices. For many, it was the first time visiting our new building, and they were very excited to be here. Thank you, Mayor Lechner again, and council members for approving the change in polling location. If I did forget to thank someone, friends who picked up my kids and my family for dealing with me. We will be back here in August and November 2022, so please spread the word.
Thank you, Lacey. Next, going on to new business. First, we have the discussion and decision on developers agreement for E&M Corporation, Tax Incremental District 4, TID 4. How are you guys tonight? You guys want to come up to the table? And I know you're here just for an extension.
No, well, an extension and I guess to thank this village and the city for its continued support. I feel like a boxer that's gone through 4 rounds since we opened the hotel. And thank you, Chris, for everything you've done. The chamber's been very supportive of our hotel. If you don't know, we are the developers that brought that still currently own and operate the Holiday Inn Express, and we brought Love's Travel Center. And more development to follow. And it's been a tough road. You know, for everything we're talking about, events from May to October, I'd love to see some events from October through April. The winters get tough, where you have to write a check to support the hotel. The hope was we wouldn't have to do that at this point, but we still have to do so to get through those months. But hopefully now we have a summer where it will get us over the hump. And what our request is with COVID and everything, we had a set period of time to sell the remaining acreage. And that period is coming to a quick closing. What we're asking for is a little more time to be able to recoup some of our investment. And, you know, it's interesting that when we took on this project, there was a small Hampton Inn and nothing else really in the market out. And then we opened and a Fairfield soon to follow. And now there's rumors of a Home 2 in Delavan. I think the market's going to continue to grow. We have plans to bring more development to the area, and with the improved economy and having better financials on the hotel, I think banks are going to be more willing to help us out, seeing that turn into a reality. So our request is simply to get a little bit more time.
Council have any questions?
How much time?
I think we said
2 years.
two additional years.
Still trying to get the restaurant and everything.
Yeah, and we do have the steel. It's sitting there, if anybody's noticed. And with efforts here recently, we are going to see the building go up. And then it's up to us to get the build out of the restaurant done on our own accord, or potentially if another buyer wants to utilize that for something that makes more sense, then we'll do a restaurant in one of the other parcels.
Other questions, council? Make a motion to extend this developers agreement
I'll make a motion to extend it
as set terms.
per the agreement terms that are in the pamphlet.
We have a motion and a second. We have any other questions or discussion? Can I have a roll call on that, please?
Gary Payson Jr.,
Yes.
Carol Young,
Yes.
Ken Minell,
Yes.
Scott McClory,
Yes.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Tim Sharota.
Yes.
Motion passed for the extension on the developers agreement. Thank you, guys. Next, presentation and discussion regarding the proposed cold storage development. Yep. Either one, if wherever you'd prefer.
All right. It's Attorney Patrick DeMoon of Sweeten Mayor on behalf of the applicant. And with me tonight, I also have attorney Christina Green. And we're up just for an informational presentation. We kind of want to get your thoughts on this project, make sure that we're heading in the right direction. But so for this project, our client is under contract to purchase 3 parcels of land. One is owned by the city of Elkhorn. It's about 2.2 acres zoned M2. The other 2 parcels are owned by the Brummel family, consists of about 55 acres zoned A1, and all 3 parcels are currently slated for industrial use under the city's comprehensive plan. So what we're proposing to do is to annex the Brummel parcels into the city and then rezone them to M1 with a planned development overlay to allow for an increase in the buildable height from 50 feet to 67 feet. Now, once these parcels are annexed and rezoned, we're going to combine all 3 of them through a CSM into 2 parcels, an east parcel and a west parcel. On the west parcel, we'll apply for a CUP to construct an insulated cold storage facility, 250,000 square feet. This will be a joint venture between Kingdom Farms, there's a picture there, and the Sandstone Group, both of which are second-generation family-owned businesses that really pride themselves in being good corporate citizens. Now, this building will have 4 separate areas for both refrigerated and frozen storage. Will be configured for multiple tenants, have about 9,000 square feet of office space, a refrigerated loading dock. It will meet or exceed all current energy efficiency standards with LED lighting throughout, both inside and outside the building. And it will have a maximum height of about 67 feet, hence the need for the planned development overlay. On the east parcel, we'll reserve this land for either future expansion of that building, or maybe our client will sell it to a third party, or perhaps develop it into lighter industrial uses towards the east. But regardless, on the far east end of the east parcel, there's going to be a berm constructed to shield this development from the residential properties across the street on County Highway H. I should note that there will be no through traffic to County H. All the driveways in this development will be internally contained with access only from Koopman and Arnold Avenue. So again, we think this will be a nice project for the city, but we're looking for your input, good, bad, or indifferent, so we know where to go.
So council, they did come in front of the Plan Commission, and the Plan Commission gave them their input on the ideas, what they would like to see and stuff. One of them was about the roads going not out to Highway H. But we just thought we'd bring it in front of council in case council has any questions before they move forward, and just wanted to throw the idea out to council so everybody can see what's going on. So if you do have any questions.
So you're talking about berm, how big?
I don't know off the top of my head, but big enough.
And we don't want the noise hitting the residents either.
Noise as well.
Right.
And this will be set back, you'll see on the west parcel here, it's going to be set back far enough that combined with the berm, it will be difficult to see from that development. Plus, they're still across the highway as well.
Yeah, again, I'm more worried about the noise
Sure.
because we have those types of situations now in other parts of my district in particular. And I want to make sure that there is something covered. So I'm not sitting here, or whoever takes over after me is having to deal with those same types of issues. I want to make sure that the neighborhood stays a neighborhood and not dealing with a lot of excess noise. I welcome the business, but I want to make sure that people still have what they want and what they have out here. That's why we live on the edge of the city, is to be away from the city. Okay.
My assumption would be that not only would the berm be in place, but the actual, for lack of a better term, partitions would be up to eliminate the noise?
Well, again, I mean, it's going to be, I don't know that this is going to be a particularly noisy use. It's going to be inside this building. It's not like a traditional pole frame construction. These are going to be heavily insulated walls, really thick concrete floors, insulated ceiling, insulated walls. You're probably not going to get much sound coming out of this building, even much less than you would a similar building that's just, you know, steel frame construction because of the insulation.
I won't speak for Gary, it's his district, but my concern is there are, is it going to be running 24/7?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have truck traffic coming in and out all the time?
Well, I shouldn't say, the facility, obviously, because it's refrigerated and frozen, has to run 24/7.
Right.
Will
Will it
truck-
be manned 24/7?
It will be manned 24/7, I
Okay.
suspect. Will there be trucks coming in and out 24/7? Probably not. I don't know the answer to that question, though.
I've seen, success in similar developments down in the Illinois area where they run those, what I'm gonna call partitions right along the interstate, near the businesses, to keep that noise, from going from the throughway, if you will, with the truck traffic or the employee traffic going into the residential area, that's right alongside of it, that runs parallel to it. So I guess I'd like to explore that if we could, at least as a consideration.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and keep in mind too, we're talking about refrigerated trucks.
Yep.
They're not quiet. So if they're sitting there, sound does resonate. And again, we're out in the county-ish for a reason. So we want to make sure those sounds are definitely protected. Again, I welcome the business, not against
Sure.
it. What I'm saying is, want to make sure that the residents have what they have now, which is quiet.
Right, and again,
Okay.
that's one of the reasons that there won't be any through traffic towards that residential development. All the driving is going to be on the west end of this parcel, fairly far away from this
Right.
residential.
Well, I
area.
just know that sound does carry. And
Sure,
I'm at
yeah.
the other end of that neighborhood, and if I can hear what's going on at Hudapack,
Yeah,
you know where Hudapack is.
I know
That
exactly
means
where Hudapack
I'll be
is.
able to hear you too, which means everybody else will hear it too. And I just want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence
Oh,
and make sure
although-
that they're covered.
Although I will say, compared to Hudapack, because I help sell that business, that's a fairly noisy industrial use, where, again, I suspect with the insulation and the thickness in the walls of this particular facility, you're not going to have the clanging and the banging that you would from Hudapack. You won't be able to hear it out that building.
Mostly just forklifts going in and
It's going to be
in and out
forklifts
of
and
trucks, right?
pallets, and you're not going to have there's no machinery in this building, for example. And again, even if there was, it's not going to be just on steel reverberating like in the Hudapack
Right,
building.
well, I understand that. I
Yeah,
understand the
but I
building.
hear what
I'm
you're
talking
saying,
about what's on
yes.
the outside.
Yes.
What you're going to have, obviously refrigeration going on, right?
Yep.
So those are not quiet. You got the trucks, so on and so forth. I just want to make sure that we're doing our service up front, make sure that we're protected. Mhm.
And so the first building itself will be all the way.
Yep.
I just want to point out.
And I appreciate that. It looks good. I just want to make sure that, in fact, we do have something in place. It's not oh, by the way, oops, we forgot to do that. That's not going to go well. Because my entire family lives in this area.
Yeah.
Not only do I have to deal with them from this position, I got to deal with them at the dinner table.
I have a question. The condensers, would they be on the roof of this? The condensers for the refrigeration, they're gonna make noise, but would they be up on the roof over and above the 67 feet?
Good
Or would
question.
there be blocks where you couldn't see them, or are they just gonna sit on top?
And I don't know the answer to that. I don't recall seeing that in the schematics that we've seen. So I don't know, and I don't know if it's internally contained or if it's outside.
Normally, they're outside.
Normally, they're
Maybe they
outside,
have
yeah.
something more modern now, but And with the size of that refrigeration unit, you're gonna have quite a few units. I mean, it's not gonna be, you know,
Right.
2 or 3, it's gonna be quite a few.
Right.
So their location, and they probably have some reports as far as noise goes, on how much noise they generate when they're running at full, and then at half, and then, you know, maybe
Well-
in the evening.
Yep, and I do know that there is kind of a sister building to this one, I think out in California or somewhere. There's a very similar building that the same development group has already built elsewhere. So they would probably have some technical data on how much noise it's making and the condensers and the trucks and
Where
those
they're
kind
at,
of issues.
where they're-
Yeah,
where
and
they're
where
gonna
they're at,
locate.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So they've done this before. I know, they would absolutely have the answer to that.
So we brought them up so council could bring up their concerns if we
Yeah,
had, so
absolutely. No, I mean,
that's-
this is where if you've got a concern, we'd like to hear it now before we spend more time and money on this.
I'd like to see what the data shows from the plant in California, how many decibels, when is it, where is it at its peak? I know one thing, in my district, literally a baseball throw away from my house is a truck company. And we, you know, we worked with the PD on that very closely with the chief and his staff. But there's nothing, I mean, you know, there's the truck company, there's Sparinos, there's my house.
Sure.
You know, and that's been at times has been a sore topic. So.
I just wanted to comment that I think this is a great project. I think you've generally got support on the council. I really like the issue of having a berm, no traffic going out onto H, everything to the west. I think all good things. Maybe take away from here that we're concerned about noise. You know, but not, I don't think there's a negative aspect to the whole project.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to hear.
That's kind of way the plan commission, it was positive there too, it just had a few concerns.
Plan commission didn't have a problem with the height?
But he was on board for that.
And height, just so you know, is kind of necessary to make the economics of this work because the construction is so much more expensive with the insulation and the requirements. To have a standard size building, it's just because you can't, it's expensive to go out. You kind of have to go up with an insulated building, and to make it just 50 feet or less, the economics wouldn't work as well. That's why. So it's not arbitrary is what I'm trying to say.
All right, I guess I'm gonna ask the fire department now. Any concerns?
Heights bother me a little bit, but I think it's workable. Why we had to be that high, but he just explained it to me, so I understand it.
We're covered by whatever equipment we have that will be able to handle that, no problems? Okay. Okay.
And that would have been all in the developer's agreement too, that has to pass the fire chief and everything before.
I believe the size of the building will make that.
I think one of the things at planning commission is that will be the tallest building in the industrial park. So, you know, that's what it comes up to. And I think it allows, 50 feet? Is that what
It's
is
50
it?
feet is standard.
50 feet right now,
Yep.
so. Well,
17 feet higher.
we didn't see where we'd make it, but it's gonna look so much higher because I don't know if we have a 50-foot building out there right now or not, you know? I don't think so. You know, but it's not a problem, but it's, you know, we're gonna have to make an adjustment for that. So,
Any other questions or concerns? Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Next, discussion and decision on awarding 2022 Elkhorn Streets and Parking Improvements Project.
That one. So we received bids back on this project a couple weeks ago, on March 31st, 2022, and we had 3 bidders, so that was a good thing, considering what we've seen in the past. Payne and Dolan was the low bidder. The total base bid was $811,326.43. We did include an alternate, which I'd like to talk a little bit more about. I'm going to show a kind of an exhibit or a map, I guess, overview of the parking lot area. The, oh, let me go into this real quick. I hope it's not too hard to see on here, but the parking lot with the base bid included this area here, which is all of the parking area, and then also this other parcel here, which is all city-owned. The alternate bid included an adjacent alley that's owned by the city. The alley is outlined by this kind of yellow dash line here, yellow and black dash line. So that would be the alternate bid. The alternate bid was $48,567. So again, our initial scope was to look at the parking lot, but with the adjacent alleyway and the condition of it being no better than the parking lot, I'd like there to be consideration for that as well. For those that didn't know, I know we've kind of talked about it in other meetings too, but there is this other kind of odd-shaped portion up beyond like Jackrabbit Fizz that is also owned by the city. That's an alleyway. So the alternate would include paving that through here, and then again this alley that's owned by the city. There could be future discussions about, is there need for that alley? Why do we have access back there? To where maybe once we kind of clean it up, there could be discussion possibly at some point if the council's interested in possibly abating that right away. But I think that while we're in there, that it makes sense to me. It fits the budget. The engineer's estimate was $917,000. Payne and Dolan's bid with the alternate is $859,893.78. So we're in line with our budget. Overall, the project also includes the fire department parking lot off of Broad Street, and then you've also got the remaining portion of Court and the remaining portion of the Pine subdivision, which is Pinecrest, that never got done last year. We talked about that a couple meetings ago. So that's all I had, unless there's questions.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve bid number 1 for $859,893.78.
Does that one include the alternate? Yes. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. You have any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Gary Payson Jr.,
Yes.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Tim Sharota,
Yes.
Carol Young, Scott McClory,
Yes.
Ken Minell.
Yes.
Motion passed for the 2022 Elkhorn Streets and Parking Improvements Project. Next, discussion and decision on purchase of a 3/4 ton pickup truck. Matt again?
Yeah, I think I tried to put the memo in the packet together as clearly as possible. Basically, there's we purchased and are likely to receive the truck soon, the new snowplow truck from 2021. That came in lower than what was budgeted for. The 3/4 ton pickup is actually, from what we've gotten numbers back for so far, is over the budgeted amount, which was $32,000. So if you look at the delta, it doesn't go over our budgeted amount, but it goes over what was considered in our budget for 2021. So I just wanted to have consideration for allowing it not to exceed the overall budgeted amount for vehicular and vehicle replacement for DPW.
Questions for Matt?
So you're looking for a budget amendment not to exceed the total of the original bid?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a budget amendment, honestly, because we had budgeted a number of $218,000 for the snowplow truck. And that came in at the end of the day, $201,663. So there's kind of a cost savings there. So I'm asking to use that offset, that delta, to be added on to the budgeted amount for the truck. That clears that up, I don't know. So it wouldn't be over the budgeted amount for vehicular replacement for DPW.
So you want to take the remaining balance from the original snowplow truck and apply it towards the pickup truck?
Correct, even though they both
Okay.
come out of the same pocket.
Now I'm with you. Okay. Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Scott McClory,
Yes.
Gary Payson Jr.,
Yes.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Ken Minell,
Yes.
Tim Sharota,
Yes.
Carol Young.
Yes.
Motion passed for the purchase of the 3/4-ton pickup truck. Next, Resolution 22-09, amending Elkhorn Police Department policies. Lacey just got that packet out to you guys this afternoon, so I would like to, if somebody would have a motion to postpone this till May 2nd.
I'll make a motion to postpone to May 2nd.
We have a motion and a second for postponing this till May 2nd, so everybody can take a look at it. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed to postpone Resolution 22-09 till May 2nd. Next, discussion and decision on the Harold D. Back Trust 1 Lot Certified Survey Map and Findings of Fact. Jim, you gonna take this one, or Matt? You on there, Jim?
I'm not familiar with Harold DeBack Certified Survey Map. I wasn't at that Plan Commission meeting. I assume it went through.
Yes, it did. Plan Commission passed it, so. I'll let-
Yeah,
yep.
I'm not even familiar.
Okay, that's fine. If you could just state your name, sir, and address.
Larry Fry. I'm the owner, I'll be the recipient of the farm separation after, if it passes. And basically, we just sold the farmland off, and we're keeping the original homestead. And it'll be the 5-acre parcel.
This did get approval of Plan Commission, so. Any questions? Anybody have a motion? We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for the certified survey map and findings of fact. Yep, thank
Will
you.
you forward this to the county then?
I'll check with Bonnie.
Yeah, we'll check with Bonnie and see how that goes. And you can get a hold of Lacey, or Lacey will give you a call. And,
Appreciate it.
We'll take care of that on Thursday. I'll be out of the office tomorrow at a training.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
yep, thank you. Next, I'll need a motion to adjourn into closed session, and we may reconvene in open session for possible action. Do we have
Make that motion to convene in the closed session.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed to adjourn into closed session. We'll reconvene in open session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I motion to adjourn, please.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.